Hello again, everyone. Edwin Learnard back once again. In this YouTube astrological segment, I'm going to be giving you my Cancer December 2017 horoscope forecast. And yes, this does apply and pertain to the Sun, Moon, and Ascendant. Anyway, people, first thing is, as far as forecast for Cancer goes for December 2017, well, the Sun will be in Sagittarius as far as December goes from the 1st until the 21st, and the 6th house will be emphasized and highlighted for Cancer. So, at this time, well, Cancer may put a lot of concentration of energy, a lot of strong focus into work, health-related matters, and the daily routine, and may be done with a lot of Sagittarius-like exuberance, enthusiasm, expansiveness, and optimism. This could be done with a lot of this Sagittarius-like joy, and really this could also be perhaps about really focusing on Sagittarius-like things, incorporating Sagittarius-like things into the daily routine with a lot of concentration of energy, which could be sports, religion, philosophy. So anyway, well, the next thing is the Sun will be in Capricorn as far as December goes, from the 21st till the 31st, and the 7th house is what will be emphasized and highlighted for Cancer. So at this time for Cancer, there can be a lot of concentration of energy and strong focus into their relationships, into perhaps a business partnership even, and can be done with a lot of a Capricorn-like structure and discipline, a lot of seriousness, and being very responsible about this. This could even be about legal matters, where one may even actually shine in also dealing with open adversaries and enemies, but doing so by being very responsible and following the rules and regulations, so to speak, and doing things that in that manner, and one could have good results as far as those things go. Now, anyway, the next thing is that the full moon will be in Gemini on December 3rd. So the 12th house is what will be emphasized and highlighted for Cancer. So this could be where perhaps Cancer might be getting tired of perhaps some gossiping that's going on, maybe in over one's private life. Perhaps it could be a communication project that somebody was working on in seclusion and solitude, or it could be a communication project that might come to an end, that might be tied into a 12th house type subject, such as photography, the metaphysical, something of a spiritual nature may come to an end at this point in time. And it could also be about becoming full and tired of perhaps spreading oneself too thin in matters connected with their private life. And anyway, and also the next thing I want to talk about is the new moon will be in Sagittarius on December 18th, and of course the 6th house is what will be emphasized and highlighted for Cancer. So at this time for Cancer, well, this could be something new that Cancer may embark on, work or health related matter. It could be done with a lot of that Sagittarian-like optimism, that enthusiasm, ebullience, a lot of done in a very positive way. It could also be something Sagittarius-like that might be initiated and started, that Cancer may incorporate into their daily routine, such as religion, philosophy, sports. It could be something connected maybe with publishing, getting something ready for publishing, even just publishing blogs on a day-to-day basis, perhaps. Anyway, another thing we'll talk about now is that Mercury will be in Sagittarius in December. So The sixth house is what will be emphasized and highlighted for Cancer. So at this time for Cancer, there could be a lot of communications, perhaps with people that that Cancer works with. Communications just in general more in one's daily routine. This could be communication about health-related matters. It could be done, and also Sagittarius could be very philosophical energy, so it could be very much about talking about one's philosophies and with people, with things connected with the sixth house, and philosophies related to health, related to one's employment, and can be done with a lot of this Sagittarius-like enthusiasm and this exuberance. And it could be communications about sports, about religion, about philosophy, which might be incorporated more into something Cancer might do on a daily basis, because the sixth house is about daily routine. Now, it could also be, keep in mind that Mercury will be retrograde in December from the 3rd till the 22nd. So it could also be about going back to philosophical discussions and very forthright, blunt, outspoken conversations conversations regarding one's health, what one is doing in one's daily routine. Can one get, if a Cancer is in a rut, this could be a time where there might be some more thinking about actually doing what's necessary to get out of it, and speaking that veritable Sagittarius-like truth to oneself, and in actually making an effort to perhaps get out of that, if that is the case for Cancer. And also about maybe being conversation perhaps that might have ended at one time, and you might resume, about matters connected with being of service to somebody, because the sixth house is about service. So anyway, well, the next thing talk about is that Venus will be in Sagittarius as far as December goes, from the 1st to the 25th, and the sixth house is what will be emphasized and highlighted for Cancer. So at this time for Cancer, well, it's possible that Cancer might meet, if unattached, might meet somebody, a prospective significant other, start a romantic relationship perhaps with somebody that they meet at their place of employment, somebody that's in their, plays a role in something health related, such as a fitness club. It could be somebody that could be a Sagittarius sun, moon, or ascendant, or somebody that embodies those Sagittarius-like characteristics. It could also be, in some cases, where Cancer might come into a little bit more money than usual at their place of employment. There might be some bonus that might be coming Cancer's way, because keep in mind, we all make money at our place of employment, generally speaking, but when you have Venus in it, I think it could give a little bit extra, because Venus is over monetary matters, and being in Sagittarius could help it make it very fortuitous. And remember that Sagittarius doesn't do anything in small bunches. So anyway, well, the next thing we'll talk about is Venus will be in Capricorn from, as far as December goes, from the 25th till the 31st, and the 7th house is what will be emphasized and highlighted for Cancer. So at this time for Cancer, there might actually be some enjoyment in taking responsibilities in matters connected with a relationship issue. It could be even in a competition situation, something of a competitive nature, whether it might be business or otherwise. And also, this could be if Cancer is involved in some lawsuit or in a legal battle where they may potentially get some money. This could be a possibility. I think the propensity would increase a little bit for Cancer to get something out of this, because you're talking about the 7th house is legalities, and Venus is about money. So anyway, and also if Cancer is unattached, it's possible that Cancer might meet, you're talking about Venus and 7th house energy in Capricorn. It could be somebody that might be an older person, somebody that might be more mature than Cancer, a person that might actually be a Capricorn Sun, Moon, or Ascendant, or simply embody those characteristics. So anyway, the next thing I want to talk about is Mars will be in Libra as far as December goes from the 1st and until the 9th. So and of course for Cancer, well, the 4th house is what will be emphasized and highlighted. So for Cancer at this time, there might be some acrimonious and contentious situations with those in one's home. It could be a family member. I mean, the 4th house is about the less dominant parent, which is often the mother. But keep in mind, with Mars in Libra, this is passive-aggressive energy. So it might not be so much outward, combative, or confrontational situations as opposed to more subtle ones, such as instead of arguing, somebody just changing the subject or walking away or not being compliant with one's requests, things of that nature. It could also be about putting a lot of energy in the home and things that people feel at home with, perhaps in fairness, in being equitable, and perhaps even artistic endeavors. A lot of energy could be put into matters connected with one's roots and one's traditions as well. So anyway, and keep in mind too, Mars is about accidents, so it's important, I'd say, to keep one's balance if you're running around in the home, so to speak. I mean, this is Libra energy, right? So just be careful during this time, Cancer, at home, because this could be a time where you might be a little bit more propensity toward having an accident in something home related. So anyway, well, the next thing we'll talk about is Mars will be in Scorpio as far as December goes from the 9th until the 31st, and the 5th house is what will be emphasized and highlighted. So for Cancer at this time, there could be a lot of this fixated and obsessive energy perhaps put into things of enjoyment, things of a speculative nature. If it is a speculative nature, that keep in mind Scorpio is about digging deep. So the one good thing about this is that with Scorpio having that ability to dig deep, it could be looking deep into things that are speculative, such as stocks, for example, and really looking at things that way before actually doing anything with it, in terms of actually taking the bait, so to speak. It's a lot of more looking before you leap, if you understand what I'm saying with this Scorpio energy, because Scorpio energy can be very cynical and skeptical. So there'd be a lot of research before actually investing of something that might appear to be a risky venture. So anyway, also this could be a time where one might have more contentious and acrimonious situations connected in romance, and it could be very passionate arguments and intense ones being in Scorpio, and also ones that might be as tied into jealousy. So that is something to look at as far as that goes. Now, Jupiter will be in Scorpio, and the 5th house is what will be emphasized and highlighted for Cancer. So at this time, Jupiter, this could be an increase of surreptitious, sneaky activity, perhaps connected with a romantic partner, with children, perhaps, if applicable. It could be very mischievous energy associated with that. But also on the positive side, it could be Cancer, if unattached, might be making a strong transformation and metamorphosis connected in love and romance, and it could also be maybe ending something for the better. So this could still be auspicious one way or the other for Cancer. So anyway, and it could also be an emphasis, perhaps enlargement on Scorpio-like things as far as hobbies go, and things of amusement such as astrology, the occult, supernatural. Could be using a Ouija board, things connected with magic, alchemy, psychology, even trying to study what makes people tick, interested in forensic science. So anyway, well, the next thing I want to talk about is Saturn will be in Sagittarius as far as December goes, from the 1st until the 20th. And the 6th house is what will be emphasized and highlighted for Cancer. So at this time, well, Cancer might be experiencing some health issues. Perhaps it could be something Sagittarius related, such as the thighs or the hamstrings. I mean, there might be some debilitation or restriction for Cancer. And I would say especially if someone has Cancer rising and this is making an inconjunct from the 6th house to the Cancer ascendant. So also there might be about taking responsibilities or feeling a sense of responsibility, maybe to adding humor into one's daily routine if one hasn't done this already, adding a little bit more of a jocular side to things in one's daily routine, working very hard and vigorously at one's place of employment. And it could be something Sagittarius related, such as philosophy, publishing, religion, something with theology, working as a college professor or teacher. So anyway, well, the next thing is Saturn, as far as December goes, will be in Capricorn from the 20th until the 31st, and the 7th house is what will be emphasized and highlighted for Cancer. So at this time, this could be a time for Cancer where Cancer might be feeling, in terms of, it might be like, this might be a period of strong, laborious work, following those rules and responsibilities, and following the rules and regulations, so to speak, perhaps in relationships, and taking strong responsibility for that. It could also be a time where there might be some restrictions in matters connected, perhaps with a business partnership or even a relationship, or just with others in general, and it might be connected with some kind, it might be feelings of despondency, and at this time as well, it could be that a significant other might be somewhat despondent or melancholy, and you might be feeling it like this might be taxing on you, and it's taking a lot of work to work through this with that partner or significant other, and even others in general. Also, this could be also about taking that Capricorn-like serious responsibility toward dealing with legal matters and dealing with open adversaries as well. It could also be where a partner or significant other, it might be debilitated at this time, or there might be some kind of restriction going on with him or her, and it could be something Capricorn related, such as something with the knees, for example, could be an example of that. So anyway, or with the bones. So, well, the next thing I want to talk about is Uranus will be still in Aries, of course, and the 10th house is what will be emphasized and highlighted for Cancer. So at this time for Cancer, well, Cancer may experience a lot of erratic and sporadic energy in one's career. This could also be a time of strong ingenuity, perhaps, and innovation for Cancer, which affects perhaps their reputation, their public image, and they may inject this into career activities, such as being that pioneering innovator or inventor. And it could also indicate just an unusual, maybe career choice or unpredictable events in matters connected with one's career. It could also be that dominant parent, which is usually the father, acting maybe coming across a little bit more eccentric, more unorthodox, or showing some ingenious qualities at this time. So anyway, it could also be a supervisor or person in a position of authority may be showing this as well. So the next thing I'm going to talk about is, okay, Neptune will still be in Pisces, and the 9th house is what will be emphasized and highlighted for Cancer. So at this time for Cancer, well, there could be perhaps some deception, perhaps in matters connected with in-laws, with grandchildren even, if applicable. In some cases, this could be perhaps drug or alcohol activity with an in-law, with the grandchildren, if applicable, grandchild. Also, it could be about maybe the philosophical outlook might be a little bit nebulous and unclear at this time, and the person may lack a little bit of direction as far as this goes. This could be also about taking these magical, mystical, long distance journeys perhaps at this time as well. Anyway, well, the next thing I want to talk about is Pluto will be in Capricorn still, so the 7th house is what will be emphasized and highlighted for Cancer. So at this time for Cancer, well, I don't like to, talk about the dreaded D word that much, but I mean, I still have to incorporate it in a lot of my delineations. So as far as this goes, I mean, in some isolated cases, this could be a death of a significant other during this time, or somebody that's important in Cancer's life. Maybe the death of an open adversary, perhaps, or a figurative ending even is really what, in more cases, not what it could be. It could also be the figurative ending of a legal battle, which could be tied in to some kind of business or something that might be government related, even given that this is in Capricorn. It could also be about, in some cases, it could be about power struggles and matters connected with a significant other, if applicable. And also, looking at this as well, is that this could be, I mean, Pluto, unlike Saturn, Pluto can be about obliteration and destruction. And Saturn is more about restricting. Well, Pluto could also be about rebirth and regeneration. So as I stated before, if something comes to an end, if there's a significant relationship that comes to an end, another one could actually come maybe even shortly afterwards. So anyway, well, the next thing I want to talk about is the North Node will be in Leo still, and the 2nd house is what will be emphasized and highlighted for Cancer. So at this time, Cancer might feel like they're being directed perhaps into maybe being a little bit more extravagant with monetary matters, maybe because Cancer feels he or she has to. It could be about the future being a little bit more magnanimous and generous with their money, taking pride and dignity in monetary matters, showing having more self-esteem by having that, doing so with that Leo like self-assuredness and confidence, and also perhaps getting attention, notoriety, and exposure for things of a monetary nature, for whatever Cancer is doing that is generating income and trying to get more recognition for it. So, and perhaps even showing some flamboyancy in those areas as well, in that area, whatever it is that Cancer is doing in terms of making money. So kind of especially if it is something connected with an entertainment field or a field which could actually attract attention. So anyway, well, the next thing I want to talk about is the Black Moon Lilith will be in Capricorn, and the 7th house is what will be emphasized and highlighted for Cancer. So for Cancer, this could be perhaps an unveiling or some revelation of perhaps a significant other that might be showing some tyrannical or ruthless tendencies. This could be about perhaps a formidable adversary that appears. I mean, it's in the house of open adversary, so it's in the appropriate place. That appears obviously very openly. It could be in a court battle, that somebody could be a Capricorn Sun, Moon, or Ascendant, or somebody that embodies those characteristics. This could also be, I mean, looking at this as well, I mean, the 7th house is also, I mean, about a business. It could be a business partnership. This could be somebody that could be being a business partnership with, or it could also be somebody that might be a strong business competitor that's showing these overambitious and perhaps even ruthless qualities and doing whatever he or she can to get ahead and beat you in whatever is field you might be in. Well, last but not least, Chiron is still going to be in Pisces, and the 9th house, of course, is what will be emphasized and highlighted for Cancer. So for Cancer, there might be some perhaps wounds and some suffering connected with gullibility, perhaps in matters connected with in-laws and or grandchildren, if applicable. One or both the people that I described maybe in some cases could be involved in some drug use or alcohol use, which there could be some suffering you're going through perhaps because of this. This could also be about perhaps suffering connected with confusion and strong ambivalence in matters connected with higher education and even religion in some cases. It could be where one might be duped by a false prophet in some cases. And on the other side of the coin is that, well, Cancer could very well take advantage of this in a positive sense and do something perhaps connected with helping those maybe that might be going through some difficulties with maybe suffering with their religion, with their philosophical outlook, and doing so with that Pisces-like compassion and empathy. Well, anyway, people, that'll conclude this YouTube astrological segment for my Cancer December 2017 horoscope forecast. Stay tuned next time where I'll be giving you my Leo December 2017 horoscope forecast. Two things I want to get with you on before I head out. Firstly, the stars may impel but do not compel. And secondly, never isolate any single astrological element, aspect, planetary placement, position, configuration, influence, or what have you, and make an analysis of a person, astrologically speaking, based on this alone, because astrologically speaking, the person is the sum of all their components in their natal chart and not just one. Until next time, people, stay well.